My face.
Hi
Hi
guys.
guys.
Hello. Okay, so we just like wait another 2 seconds for others to come in. Do tell us if you can hear us. If you have any issues with the sound or it's raining where I am, so there's a bit of lagging on my video, I think. But if you guys can have if you guys have any issues with the tech bit, we'll try our best to solve lah. But nonetheless, the video will be available on YouTube later if you guys are interested to watch after this also. So a little bit about myself. My name is Wen, and I'm the founder and CEO of SushiVid. So today we want to talk about types of influencers and when to use them. So a lot of times, people when they come and engage influencers, they either make the assumption that they are the very big ones, like the few 100,000. We had China clients, right? They come to us like, oh, we only want influencer 500,000 and above. I'm like, Malaysia don't have. So there's a huge how do I put it? There is a huge disparity between expectations of like the size of the influencer as well as what consists of an influencer. So today we want to explain to you guys as well like the different categories, the different tiering of influencers that we have, and how and when do we use them for, and when do we recommend these categories to you guys lah. A little bit of housekeeping. If you guys have any questions, there is a question section below the screen. So if you put the questions there, then in case people too chatty on the side, we can see the questions on the Q&A section. So we also will have poll and from time to time. So we hope that you guys can chit chat with us. Please don't be shy. You guys are welcome to talk to us, leave us comments, also chat with us if you have any further questions, because we want to try to help you as much as possible with your campaigns. So if you have any feedback for us about your campaign as well, or if you want to ask us questions, just go ahead and feel free to ask us anything. So I'll be moderating this session, and I will pass the introduction to Kalis, maybe.
Hi guys. Just in case some of you have not met me, my name is Kalis. I'm in charge of the sales team. So I've been in SushiVid since October 2018. So since then, I've managed agencies and brands from e-com to telco and FMCG products. So yeah, I do have some key points on and some things to highlight about influencers. Maybe it can benefit you in your future campaigns. I think Raya coming up, so wait for it.
Kalis, your sound a bit echoey.
Really?
Did you change something?
I did not. I think it's the webinar site itself.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it was okay just now, right?
Yeah, it was okay when we were on the Google Hangout, but now it's echoey. Oh, Carmen, your side, Kali sounds okay. Then maybe it's my internet. Clang Unify. I need to complain. Karen, what about you? I cannot see you actually. Can y'all see Karen? If y'all can see Karen, I'm okay. It's just on my screen, she's black.
Can see Karen.
Oh, okay. That means it's just my screen. All right, cool. Okay, Karen, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi everyone, I'm Karen. So basically, I'm now managing the live stream team, and I have like roughly 2 years experience in influencer marketing. So I'm gonna talk about the cost per sales and also talk about share some my case study with you guys. So.
Okay, so before we go further, okay, I'm going to ask the audience to poll. Okay, your influencer campaigns. Do you usually do the cedar type? Do you do the micro type, macro type, or do you do the alpha? I'm just going to do a quick poll with the audience. I don't mind my question, it looks a bit awkward, but I just want to know how many of you have used cedars and how many of you have used the various different kinds and sizes of influencers. I'm just going to put up the tiering for you guys. So just give me 1 sec. So y'all can poll, and then so we know lah. Okay, so I'm showing you this particular slide where we actually classify the influencers into nano, micro, mid-tier, macro, and mega. Alamak, my poll tak ada What the mid-tier lah? Okay, never mind. So I roughly have a gauge lah. So, a lot of you don't do seeders, huh? So seeders are 2,000 to 10,000 category one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, alamak. I'm going to edit the poll because I forgot one more, which is mid-tier. Sorry, guys. I gelabah a bit today. Okay, so I added one more for mid-tier lah. Cool. So quite a lot of you use macro influencers. So just to update, macro is about 100 to 500,000 followers.
Mm-hmm.
Alpha is like the Zul Arifin and above lah, guys. If you all don't know who is Zul Arifin, time to Google. Handsome. Ayo. Okay. So now we know, okay, a lot of you are in the macro category and a lot of you are, some of you are in the micros. That's okay as well. So not a lot of seeders. Okay. Okay, we are by no means trying to promote any specific category lah, but we just want to explain the various different categories so that everybody can get a feel about influencer marketing and the different sizes lah. So maybe we can start with the first question lah. Why would you use a seeder? We will go step by step here, so we'll go like micro, mid-tier, macro. So why would you use a seeder? Maybe Galis, you want to help us with that?
Yeah, sure. So basically, right, before we start, to be honest, before I jump into the seeders part, I always suggest and recommend to my clients that before you touch any influencers, it is better to have your own digital marketing, digital ad on your part first, because we actually can execute the influencers straight. Because that when you don't have a proper I would say website or proper link or something that you can promote, that you shout out inside your social media, like you say Facebook, Instagram, or even your website, it's really hard for the influencers to get a better results for that campaign. Because let's just say you are the followers of that certain influencers. So when you click to that, let's just say link in bio or swipe up function, as a follower, you want to know more about that brand's product. I mean, like, you want to know more, like, what is it about, what's the content about. If you don't have a proper, I would say, a fundamental SEO or whatever, it's really hard for the followers to understand what you're trying to send a message there. Yeah, so basically for seeders, normally my campaigns, I would suggest if they have any promotional products, like you say they want to support all these big influencers in postings, or someone who wants to actually tap into a pool of unique we'll call it audience. That's where I would suggest to do seeders. Because let's put it this way, you are driving in a highway, you see a billboard at the prime area. Let's say the prime area is considered as the macro or alpha, but the not so prime area are considered as seeders areas. So when you like this, and then imagine that you're staying in not so prime area, like in kampong and anything, you pass by going to work, like the billboard, okay, that's one billboard, and then another billboard. So when you see a lot of billboards showing that product, that brand, it's like, oh, subconsciously, you know, there's a lot of things that spend, and for you to subconsciously know about that brand. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. So, Karen, do you have anything to add?
No, I just say, because normally for seeders campaign, right, you're not like targeting the people to really do the action on the spot. It's more on like you are building the brand awareness, also build brand reputations. So as well as you're a new brand, you want a new launch, so you can like use the seeders to spread out the news to their followers. Like we gain more quantity, yeah, you can say.
Okay, so Karen, since you're at it, can I ask you your experience managing seeders campaign?
Okay. For seeders campaign, right? When we do it manually, like we have one e-com campaign, like we need to handle 300 seeders in one go. Then at the time we only have like 3 people, but thanks God to our tech team lah. We have a like supreme tech team. We can do the SMS blast to the influencers, so we no need to like do it one by one. Like WhatsApp them one by one. Hey, are you interested? So we just do it in our internal team, the system. We browse out all the informations and then ask for their interest. And also once they are doing the posting, right, we also have our tech team to help us, which they created like some sort of like tracking link to track like whether each influencers, whether they have do the posting or not. Like check their caption, is it correct? And then have they do like picture posting, video posting, link in bio, everything else. So it was fun, but if let's say you do it manually without the technologies, I would say, wow, 3 people handle 300 is like full. But I would say, okay, can handle because we have the tech tool to help lah.
Okay. What about Kalis? What about the objectives of CEDARS campaigns? What is the common objective that the client will come up with when it comes to CEDARS campaigns?
So whenever I want to suggest some CEDARS campaign, right, I always look at the objective. So one of the objective that I can see it works is if you want to do purely brand awareness. So this is where, like you say, you have a promotion, buy 2 free 1 product, for example. So you push a lot of pool of CEDARS. Like you say, I think one of the e-com had some a promotion, buy 1 and then you get a free rebate, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we use a lot of CEDARS to push out the message. So when all these pool of CEDARS actually post on the Instagram, you can see your explore page. Some influencers confirm you can see like that e-com brand e-com posting. That's why the CEDARS really plays along. And plus it's cheaper than the big ones.
And also for CEDARS one, right? Just to meet your guys' expectation, the CEDARS content is not that the quality is not that good compared to like micro, mid-tier or alpha, because they are just, I can say they are still new and fresh to the influencer marketing. So perhaps if you guys have any like provided contents, you can also use the CEDARS to help you to pass out the content.
Okay, so let's move along to the next category lah. I guess CEDARS is very affordable and they're very good for sale, very good for promotion. Like when you don't really mind the content quality, not so power one, but you just want to get like flood Instagram with a lot of information, then you use CEDARS lah, right?
Yeah.
When would you use a micro influencer? Anybody wants to try to suggest when, or what's the benefit of using the micro influencers?
Okay, if let's say for us, right, micro is anyone who has more than 10K followers. Some of you have experience with micro, some of you haven't. So for those who haven't, just to let you know that anyone who has more than 10K followers, you can actually Instagram will automatically active your swipe up function. So for example, you have an app download. So for CEDARS, you can't actually do swipe up function. So it's really, for a follower, it's really quite troublesome that you don't have swipe up. So you need to go, alternatively, I need to go to link in bio to reach and click the link. But for micros and above, since they have a swipe up function, as a follower, I can see the Insta story is like, okay, I can just swipe up. It's easier, convenient for them. Yeah.
So that's the comparison about the CEDARS and also the micro, we can see with the swipe up functions.
Okay, do you all have a sample campaign, maybe to share a usage of the swipe up? What is the objective the client had, and why would they do the swipe up?
Okay, maybe perhaps I can share. I have one app download campaign. The objective is to like get people to download the app. So we're using the influencers. So basically this Meitu app. So Meitu is from China, and then they are targeting their engagers to target the Thailand influencers. So we help them to engage Thai influencers with the like 10K, 30K and above followers, and each of them have the swipe up function. So because the Meitu app, they monthly will have like new filters. So we engage the influencers to apply the new filters, and also for the IG story for them to like, hey you guys, if you guys have seen my IG post, you can like swipe up and then download the app to apply the filters. So that's, we find it very useful for the swipe up. And also we can't really because Meitu didn't really get back to us about like what is the total result about how many people download the app, but they did come back to us like a monthly campaign. So I guess it's work for the app download lah.
Okay. Just while we're at this question, can you all also enlighten me about the link in bio versus the swipe up? Which one is more effective so far, based on your opinion and your experience?
Based on the result that I've gotten from my team, this is based on, like, just say a pool of 50 campaigns. So I can say that it's easy. Is the result for swipe up functions is much better comparing to the link in bio. So we try. We are not saying that we don't fully support link bio. We try not to propose. Depends on situation, of course. Because even myself, when I look at someone's page, right, I don't actually click a link bio unless I really want to know what's the person. But for Are You Sorry, it's just like I'm looking at their Are You Sorry. So I mean, what's so hard about going back and then going up? Might as well just swipe up. So even for me as a follower, I prefer swipe up functions. So when I see the results, it shows that swipe up function is much better comparing to link in bio. That's my opinion. I also, yeah.
Okay. So for
yeah, go on.
Okay, so for my side, right, I think that it also depends on your objective. So for example, if you are doing a long-term campaign, so you ask the influencers every day also, because the IG story only there for 24 hours. So you ask the influencers to like daily do the posting for you. So if daily like a month do a 30 Instagram story posting for you, it will cost quite a lot, like a number of the budget. So for the link in bio, it's more like if you are engaging influencers to do a long-term campaign, maybe like 1 month, 2 months, so they can put the link, your website link or the promotion link on their link in bio, so they can like do like maybe 2 to 3 times in the week, like, hey guys, if you want to know more about this product, you can go to my link in bio. So the followers can be like, oh, okay, I can click on the link on her bio to see the more about the products or the brand. That's my opinion, sir.
Okay. All right. So for those of you who may have just joined us, we are actually breaking down the session into multiple tiering, and then we are talking about each tier. If you guys have any questions about the tiering bit, right, just let us know. We're happy to answer the questions for you lah. Anyway, Jeffrey has a question. It says, what is link in bio? Okay, so so the link in bio is actually the phone, right? On your Instagram app, right? When you open a profile, there's only one link. Every profile only can put one link. So that link in bio lah, because every other picture on Instagram is not clickable. You can't really you can't click on any links in the captions and all that. So that's why we only we prioritize a lot on the link in bio as well as the swipe up function for Instagram stories. I hope that answered, Jeff, your question. Okay, moving along to the next question is, I guess, when would you then use a mid-tier influencer? So there's micro and there's a mid-tier and there's a nano. When would you use a mid-tier?
Okay, I'm just going to simplify it very easy. So when I do serious, micro, mid-tier, and everything, I realize that serious are someone who is trying to be a part of this influencer marketing market. So for micro is someone who is actually knowing something, but they are trying to grow. But as for mid-tier, someone who's actually by right, they know what they are doing. They know who's their target audience. But as for macro, they macam legit one lah. They should have they know what to do one. It's like you give them content, you give them brief, some key points, they know what to do because they know their audience. By right, they know their audience one. So for us, right, when we want to do something educational, we want to tell the audience what is your product saying. Like you say a drink product that you have a new formula. You want to educate the followers that okay, this product is actually benefits you and it's less sugar, 0 calories, such on. So this is where the video comes in, where you want to do we want to educate the audience about your product. So it can go to like just say IG video or YouTube, and sometimes we can also tap into bloggers as well. Yeah, that's from my part.
Okay, what about Karen? Since you are in charge of the live stream section, is there does the classification make a difference in terms of the live stream quality and the live stream pricing? Maybe you can talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, in terms of the different tiers of influencers, right? Of course, there's a difference on the pricing as well for the live stream. So, for example, the bigger influencers, like their followers have a bigger amount one. Of course, they are more expensive. So it also depends on the client whether they want to do it on their account, like invite influencers as a host, or they want to like do it on the influencer account to like really build the brand awareness, also build the like get more sales. Because if you do it on the like big influencers like alpha account, they of course they have a lot of followers, so their price is high, but the end result I can say is you get a more sales and reach from the alpha account lah. But if you're doing like seeders, adult, they are much more cheaper than the alpha one. But it's more on like you are inviting them as a host, like a person to talk about the products, but not really drive the awareness. Like I can't say really drive awareness. I can say can't really drive the sales, but they can help you to build up the brand awareness. So perhaps if you want to make it like I want to get the awareness at the same time also get the sales, perhaps you can mix and match about the alpha and the seeders influencers. Like seeders help you to build the awareness, spread out the news, and then the alpha like really educate people, like build up the promotions, tell people about like how to use products. Perhaps we can do it in this way.
I would also like to add, right? Like for example, if we do live stream, I think it's important that we don't only look at the size of the influencer, but also their content quality. That one quite important. What are the criteria when it comes to looking for these live streamers? What are the criteria that we look for?
Okay, so from my perspective, me and my team perspective, our criteria is that whether they have done any video content, so we can have a roughly look at their video qualities and then the way they talk about products to promote about our products. Because for live stream, right, you are engaged an influencers, a person to help you to promote about the products. Are they details enough? And then what is their characters? Do they have any like characters to make people to remember about them? So they need to have their own characters. And also the most important thing is whether they can like do the reaction on the spot or not. Because for live stream, unlike the pictures and story or videos post, like people will like once you post them, people only will comment and give you likes and comments. But for live stream, it's like everything is on live one. It's like you are on live like now, you're just asking questions, then I will reply I will reply to your questions. Like everything is on the spot one. So every live streamers, they must have a like really good reactions on the spot, you can say.
Okay, so Hazel has a question. Could you share live streaming rates for each tier? Okay, I don't think we have every tier just because I don't think we have sufficient data, but maybe you can give a sample, Karen. What are the pricing like for like maybe a seeder or a micro versus a alpha or macro? Whatever samples that you can come up with.
Okay, so perhaps I can share like two samples. One is the seeders one, is like 2K to 10K, and then the alpha one is like the 100K, 300K and above one. So for the seeders one, roughly an hour live stream is cost like 500, and for the alpha one is like roughly 5,000 and above for one live stream per hour.
Okay, I'm creating a poll right now just because I want to know some answers from the audience as well. My question in the poll actually goes, are you guys interested in live stream? So that, if you guys are, then, maybe we will create a session specifically just for live streaming. Because this session, we also have Galis. Galis doesn't do the live stream portion. So, yeah. Moving along to another question from the audience, Nick actually asked how to identify whether the followers are genuine, as there are so many ghost accounts. There are quite a number of high fan base, but the engagement rate is relatively low. Okay, who wants to take this question?
Okay, I can take it. So basically, there's a lot of way we can actually trace that, but to be honest, the way how we do it, we cannot fully, or I would say 100% filter out all the followers. So what my team has been doing, to be honest, we look at the content, Second, we look at the number of engagement rates based on the previous campaigns and the comments, and who are the comments. And the other thing is, last result, we also look at into the third-party websites. Yeah. So from the previous campaign that they have done with Tengoklah, we see like what's the results like. If it's too far apart, it's clearly then we won't be using them again lah. We wouldn't suggest lah. So our benchmark for each influencers, if we want to suggest for a certain campaign, is minimum of 2% of engagement rate. Yeah.
Yeah, I can also add to that. Yeah, at SushiFit we have about 12,000 influencers, and usually what we do is we try to get unique influencers for every campaign. So like last year we paid 2,000 unique influencers, and this year our aim is actually to pay 4,000 unique influencers. That means we are increasing our pool of influencers by another 2,000. And what that means is like every time we do a campaign, right, we'll do a post-mortem, and then we will do a reporting and a review, right, and then whoever is suspicious, right, we put them into our ban list, then we don't use them again. So every campaign we clean up and the list gets cleaner, but then we cannot 100% guarantee that the campaigns have zero fake followers. So especially with the ghosts, especially with the seeder size and the micros, right? Every campaign we weed out. We weed out the bad ones, and then we just continue using the good ones. I think that's the way that we control the ghost accounts. The next question is Nadira also asked, how do you judge engagement rate? I guess that's the same question. So I will, I assume we answered. If you have any more further questions on that, you can also ask us. I want to move along to another question. IG videos versus IG posts. When do you guys use, which category would you use what? So for example, if you're seeders, would you do videos, or you won't? Or like the bigger ones, you would use seeders, or you would use videos. Like when would you use a video? And is video effective?
Okay, based on my team's feedback, so for seeders, right, and micro, I'm not saying all of them are bad at doing video, but it's just that it won't be as pleasant as you want it to be. So that's why we would suggest mid-tier and above, so they roughly know how to do videos. But of course, I think some of you must have experienced some mid-tiers, some macro don't know how to video. For us, we actually vet through first. We actually have a specific team to vet through all these influencers, whether they have done videos or not. So whenever I propose a video to my clients, I will set an expectation that this video won't be like Genie Boy kind of type. If you want Genie Boy kind of type, I can give you, but the price would be very expensive. So some influencers, when they do video, they sometimes do voiceover. Because, I understand that some in the middle of campaign kind of want to change here and there. So that's why we suggest voiceover lah. For seeders, micros, I always push to awareness itself. So picture post is one of the best way to actually spread your key messages. And of course, with the support of IG story lah. If you post without IG story, because some people won't get that person's post, so they only see their IG stories. Yeah.
So it means that you are more preferable to use like maybe mid-tier and above to do videos because of their it's because of their video content quality is much more better than the seeders are. Okay, I agree with that.
But seeders also, when we do the video, I mean, it's harder for us to manage lah, just because I mean, content quality wise, we have to help them a lot, right? For the seeder side. But is it effective though? Like return on investment wise, is it effective? Like, do we have clients that use seeders for IG videos?
If you're looking at the reach, right, some seeders actually can actually reach. They can do good results. I'm not saying all of them are bad, but you're paying for an expensive price for a same result as IG static picture for seeders. So, like I mentioned, if you want to do video, can, but it's more of educational on how to do product, either like daily lifestyle, what they do, kind of things. But if you're planning to do like key awareness or promotion, I mean like your brand launch, like hey, shout outs, just like that, I think IG certification will be okay.
Okay, cool. Okay, TJ has a question. Can I say if Cedars is proper for new brand or for starting influencer marketing? Is Cedars like a good place to start influencer marketing? I guess that's TJ's question. Does anybody want to give it a shot?
It's actually, to be honest, depends on your objectives.
Yeah.
If you have a bigger budget and you want to shout out about your product, and you at the same time you want to educate the product, we can actually mix Cedars and also mid tiers, macro lah. But if your main purpose is just to shout out about your product is out in the market and they can just go to any nearest store, yeah, Cedars would be okay. But normally I would suggest, I would want to know more about what you're planning, what are your plans for that campaign. Yeah.
What is the objective lah?
Okay, so my next question is, if just say we use Cedars, or actually any category lah, right? Should we use the brand's content, or this is a very common question, like the brand might want to give us the content and say like, yeah, the influencer to just share this content. Do you think that works with the Cedars?
When I had a few campaigns who did that. So we did some comparisons lah. So one of the campaign was just fully, the content was provided by the client. When we did that, the result wasn't that good. So we suggested to that brand and for the next campaigns that it would be better for the influencers to be inside the photo, and then we do like carousel kind of concept lah. So basically the first photo is the influencers and your product, and the next photo is the brand's product. Yeah. So this is because, right, when a follower actually follows that certain influencer, they follow them for a reason, meaning maybe because they are pretty, really, they are really fitness enthusiasts, or maybe they are foodie. They want that person to be experiencing your product. If can lah, if that content direction is more on natural based, not like start selling. So when we did that for the next campaign, it's better from previous one. Yeah, because there's more interaction between the influencer and your product, so that the followers can understand. I was like, okay, he's doing this. Oh my god! Okay. Instead of just that brand posting the product itself. Yeah.
And because if you like, for example, as a normal people, we go on Instagram and you see that your feed is post all about the brand's brand's images, you will say, okay, I don't even care to read about the captions. I will just swipe up, like swipe down and look for others. The reason why we mix and match with the influencers and also the products together, because like what Kali say, people are here to look at the influencers, but not really looking at their what they are promoting, sponsored posts. So we can do it as a carousel, or we make it like the influencer is holding the products at the same time in the static pictures, like, okay, this is a shampoo, and then maybe this is the makeup products. Maybe do some comparison, I can say.
And let's just say, right, you are your brand is not product based. It's more of like a mall or maybe an event. So you have a picture that you want the influencer to share. We actually did one campaign with one on a mall, so you can. So what we did was we did a carousel postings and also Insta story. So the carousel first picture was the influencer dressing up, getting ready to go to the event. And the second picture is more of like the tentative or the brand's content lah. So and then the IG story is more of like directing, or maybe IG story. If I'm saying IG story in the car going to the event. So for that part, we actually get, I mean, surprisingly, it's more than 2.5% engagement rate. Like that's really good for them. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, we've given a lot of love to the Cedars for this conversation. Can we talk a bit about alphas? Maybe even the macros, maybe we talk about macro alpha category. When would you use an alpha or a macro?
Okay. Basically, right, I do get a lot of inquiries regarding alpha. So whenever I get those kind of inquiries, I always ask them, make sure they know who their target audience are. So if they want to use alpha, can. Even though they are slightly cheaper than the celebrities, make sure when we use the alpha, you create a story that in a way where your brand is actually building up with them. So that way, the follower is like, okay, this brand, this influencer actually uses this brand before they got engaged. Meaning, like you say, a pet, for example, this person has been using this pet since she started her first league lah. So until now, they're actually using it, and the reason why they're using and such on. So when you want someone to be the face of your brand, that's where I would suggest alpha.
Yeah, and also I can say that to use the alpha is to build up your brand reputations, because most of the alphas, they are working with a lot of big brands, so you can tag along your brands like with those big brands. So it will be categorized as like maybe a luxury brands, or maybe with a higher brand reputation, I can say in that way. And normally,
no, you continue. Sorry.
And normally we engage alpha is for long-term campaigns, maybe not like 1 month, 2 months. We engage them for like maybe 3 months, 6 months, or year campaigns, because as what Khalid say, we want to build a brand with them, like ask them to be the face of the brand. So we need to like educate people about how they use the products, and then what is the outcome, so people can see like, okay, so they are growing together, and it also in order to build the trust for the brands and also the followers. Yeah, can say that.
So for this category, can we get some exclusivity for just say a brand? Can we specify that?
We can get exclusivities for the influencers. For maybe we have a sanitary pads clients, so they engage us for like 5 or 8 alpha influencers to engage them for a year. So the influencers are monthly doing promotions, brand awareness, like posting with the pads, the sanitary pads, to like build up the reputation, because for female periods, like we are like monthly things. So they are doing like a monthly, so people feel like, oh, okay, it's my period, it's nearby to my periods section, like season. So when the followers see the influencer are posting the sanitary pads, they feel like, oh, okay, maybe I can use this one because I saw these influencers are doing the post, like monthly doing this post, and then she also talking about the how good is the materials and anything good about the brands, I can say.
Okay, cool. Eileen has a question. Is it possible to guarantee a number of reach for a campaign? Anybody wants to give that a shot?
All right. So basically, when I propose my influencers, right, I always put a rule of thumb of 10% of the total of followers, because of course, I wouldn't say everyone will get 10%. Some will get lower, some will get more. So it of course depends on your content direction and how it relates to the influencer with the others and the postings lah. Yeah.
So for example, it's like if you are maybe you are promoting a toys campaigns, so we are engaging like parents. So the engagement and the reach will be higher, slightly higher compared to like you ask the millennials to promote about kids' toys, because the parents influencers, they are more related to the products or the brands, and also most of their followers are also like in the similar situation with them. Maybe they are new like parents, or maybe they are like more working adults, which is more related to the brands, the influencers itself. So it really depends, but we can like roughly give you a rate, like the reach.
Okay, so I want to add along that as well. At the end of the day, if your content is not something very viral, you cannot cheat the Facebook algorithm, because Facebook decides at a certain scroll, right? At a certain scroll, how many whose picture appears, right? Facebook decided that. So like even just say an influencer has 1 million followers, right? The who scroll and saw that post, right, is actually determined by Facebook itself. So unless that particular post is very has huge engagement, which means a lot of people commented, and a lot of people would only comment if just say the content is viral or the content is very extraordinarily good lah. Otherwise, it's very rare that you can go above the standard algorithm. Because that's how Instagram works, right? And Facebook, they are like a social media feed. Like, you also realize that sometimes your Facebook, right, only shows certain people. You have like 1,000 friends, right? Maybe 300 of them, you don't even see they're posting at all. It's not that they didn't post. You are just not in that radar. It's just Facebook didn't select to show you their post somehow. So it's again, it's highly dependent on that algorithm as well. So it's something that we cannot cheat the system, but we can, of course, make the content more, palatable. Maybe caption it in such a way that it's very, catchy, or maybe get people to comment on it. I think that would work. But if just say, you want to put inside the caption all your unique selling proposition and your sale and everything, and then you expect the influencer to get engagement for it, right? It's rare lah. It's rare. So it's a mixture of so many things, Eileen. I don't think we can just straight away tell you that we want to guarantee a reach. Okay, moving along to Stanley's question. What would be the best rate for each tier? I mean, if we can have the best rate, then we don't need to buka kedai already. But okay, maybe Kalis, Karen, you guys want to give a shot on the pricing for the influencers for IG posts? We just assume it's one post for one influencer, one IG post per influencer. Kalis, you want to try?
If you're looking at micro, of course, I think some of you have engaged micro before lah. So there's a lot of different. There are a lot of types of micro. One is the one yang macam genie boy kind of type, and the other one is like normal kind of type. So like you say, I'm talking about normal kind of type, right? We can go one IG static picture post about from 200 to 550 roughly. But if you're looking at the genie boy kind of type, you can go up to 1.8K lah, one picture post for micro. Yeah, for like you say, you're looking at macro, one picture post can go from 1K to maybe 10K. But if like you say average, not the Jane Chuck kind of type, maybe up to 3.5. Yeah. That's for macro lah.
Okay, Karen, what about live stream pricing? Do you have a gauge on the pricing for the sizes, these various sizes?
Okay, so for live stream one, the Cedars one normally it costs like 500 per hour an hour live stream sections, and micro mid tier is cost like 1K to 3K for an hour, and alpha is like normally it costs us like 5K for an alpha to do an hour live stream.
Yeah, okay. So this pricing is, I guess of course, some of you, if you engage directly, you will get a very, very different price. But I mean, we just want to give you a gauge. So so you're saying that nano and micro is below 500. Mid tier is how much? 1,000?
1,000 to 3,000, roughly.
Okay, and then macro and above is 3,000 and above lah.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, cool. Okay, so this is based on our limited live stream experience as well. Just so you all know, live stream we also just launched only. Yeah. So based on our limited info lah, but we've actually, how many influencers have we reached out to for live stream so far? And how many have responded with their pricing actually?
Okay, we have reached out because we also we get the list from our created KOL team list. So it's created already. So we contacted like 8,000 plus influencers, and we got like 500-600 influencers saying that they are interested to do live stream. So we have a quite amount of influencers that are ready to do live stream. So if any brands that are interested to do live stream, do feel free to contact me.
Okay, the audience have another question. Nick has a question. It says, every brand wants to go with alpha. Yeah, of course. Everybody does. So this group of influencers may not specialize for just one category of product. Would it be good for the brand then? That's a good question, Nick. I'm going to see which volunteer wants to answer.
Actually, it depends. It depends on. So let's just say that specific brand is a beauty product. For an influencer who is alpha, right? They've been getting a lot of beauty products. So if you really want to engage them, can. And if you really want to make it much effective, there's a way. One of the things that I can suggest is you lock them down for like a long term and exclusivity for your brand itself. So in a way, your brand, she will only be liaising with your brand itself, and she will create a story where for the whole year she grow with your brand. So every day, like daily, every day I wake up in the morning, I do like mask, I do like lipstick, all with your brand. Can. But if you're looking at short-term wise, right? It is some influencers actually worth the money, but some not. So for us when you ask those kind of inquiries, we actually need to vet through a lot of influencers. But if you're engaging on your own, you need to try and error. I wouldn't suggest that because it takes a lot of your time and your deadline as well. So for us, I would go for normal one first, the smaller ones, and tap one or two or maybe not more than 5 alphas. Test the market first, how it works, how's the result. And if you can see that the micro or the mid-tier has more reach or has better engagement rate compared to the alpha that you spend, then might as well spend more on micro, mid-tier, such online. Because there was a few campaigns where we actually compare the amount we pay to that specific alpha comparing to the mid-tier. So the mid-tier has better results comparing to alpha. So there's a trial and error on that lah. So for us, we actually know. We tried here and there. We know roughly lah. The influencer works for this product. The influencer doesn't work that product. Yeah, it actually depends. Yeah.
Okay. Karen, do you have anything to add on that?
No.
Okay, so I want to do a quick summary of the whole thing now. Okay, so nano is when you don't really care about your quality of the content, but you just want to disseminate a lot of information, flood Instagram. Then you use the nano. But the content quality we tell you now ain't going to be good. Okay. Micro is when you really want them to swipe up, direct the traffic somewhere. So we are like traffic police, right? So if you want to use the swipe up, you must use micro and above because then they have to swipe up to your following, to your website or whatever it is. But if your content no need swipe up one, then nano is okay. For mid-tier, they are a bit confused because sometimes they will be lumped into the micro category, sometimes they will be lumped into the macro category. So it's a huge range, 50 to 100,000. So that the mid-tier category, the pricing is for us is the most confusing of all. But the good thing is that you can find those that they still think they are mid-tier, they still think that they are small. So then their price is very good. But there are also those that in the mid-tier, right? Wow, they first 50,000 literos charge like macro like that. So there's two sides. Some of them they overconfident, then they think that their price is that good, though their price is justified. But some of them they still lack confidence. They think that okay, my price is more suitable like the micro size. So I think that category is a confused category, a very mengada category for us. Very difficult to manage because we also don't know how to price them. But if done right, you can find really good price influencers in the mid-tier category. Macro is when you already know your audience and you know what you want to do. Preferably if you can do it long term because then you can negotiate better price. And also when when the influencer sort of like can build that ambassadorship. Like if you just want to do sekali, then you straight away take the macro. You're throwing a lot of money into one basket that we don't know, got result or not. And the alpha is, seriously, this is when agencies come in and then they will want to, bring in an alpha for ambassadorship lah. But yeah, usually thereabouts. This is the summary that I can give for the different tiers, right? Do you guys have anything to add on top of what I said?
Yeah, the pricing for influencers, right? I think some of you might have wondered before. What makes them has different price than the rest? So one of the key things that I actually realized is that it depends on the influencer's exposure in the market itself. So let's say you're looking at a supermodel who is used to get paid about, let's just say he's micro lah, and she used to get paid like 1.5K from brands or maybe runway and everything. So she roughly know what's her value. But for those content creators only who has just been exposed for certain brands, that's the average price. Like just say micro about 500. So that's where they get the market. But if the person is like supermodels, athletes, or maybe the ones who really know, when people say about that person is like, okay, he's a high elite kind of person. So that's where there's a lot of gaps there. And that's also because some influencer has managers. So manager pun got money lah from there. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, do we like the influencers with manager or influencers without manager? That's a good question. I like that.
Okay. For me, there's pros and cons. So some managers I've encountered, they are responsive. Some are not. I would prefer to work without managers because the influencer can just give me the price as soon as you got the message. But for managers, you're dealing with a third person. So your schedule may not be like yours. So she cannot actually reply on the spot what you want and everything. So sometimes they will play with the price. It happens to us before, but then we just have to deal with it lah. So I'm not saying all managers are bad. So some, I mean, I understand from their side where they're coming from, but it's just that I would prefer working with direct influencers straight lah.
Okay, for my side, I would say it depends on. So, Kalis is more like she prefer to work with the influencer directly, but I more prefer to work with the manager directly because there are some influencers like they are like, okay, I'm so famous, so they normally will like see no reply us one. So this is the way that we can use the manager, like we just like spam the managers like, hey, can you give me a draft now? Because normally the influencers, they see no reply us. They were like, okay. Then we just like, okay, we call them, also no replies. So we do have a third party to help us to like contact them. But if the influencers have manager, then we can like at least call the managers to ask for updates, like what's going on. And then it's more secure for our side, like I can say.
Okay, so Carmen has a question. Is there a minimum budget for a campaign? Okay, maybe we can talk about package. I don't know. Kalis, you want to try?
Okay. Right now, since I think some of you have joined last week, but for those who haven't joined, so right now we do have a package. It's called COVID-19 package. Packages. So I can just lay out a few things. So let's just say you're looking for a mid-tier influencers. We can, for a price of 6,900, you can engage about 7 to 10 mid-tier influencers. But this is not specified to a specific category. This is like a general. The ones that we have actually engaged or we have actually negotiated with the KLs, those are the ones that we have lah. It's actually quite limited. It's not like the ones that we have done campaigns before. It depends on influencers. And the other one is more of like seeders package. So for a price of 5K, you can roughly get about 45 to 60 seeders to do 3 IG stories. This one is more of, you want to shout out that you have let's just say at the end of this weekend, you have a promotion, buy now while stock lasts, right? This is where we can use the seeders, like, hey, just do IG stories, that one. Yeah. I think Karen has a live stream package as well, right?
Yeah, okay. So my side, we have a live stream packages where we will engage like 5 to 8 influencers to do average with like 8K followers. In total, do like 10 live stream on e-com platforms and also do like in total 30 Instagram posting. So we can discuss the package price later. Yeah, so that's for the live stream package.
Carmen has another question. It says, what is the ideal duration for a campaign?
Okay, so perhaps I can talk about the live stream one. So for live stream campaigns, the duration, normally I will talk to clients that, okay, preferables, we make it as a 2 weeks durations, because for live stream is that you want people to call to action to buy the things on the spot. We just keep reminding the influencers to tell the viewers that this is the only chance. Countdown, we are counting 2 weeks to buy this product with this promotion price. So we are shorten down the promotion period into 2 weeks, the max I can say. But because we want the people to take action on the spot, but I guess cost per post, like for like do like picture posts or video posts, that one it depends on your objective, and then also depends on the promotion period for your certain products. For example, you are promoting a product that is only valid for Raya campaigns, like for Raya collections. So we can say that we can make it as a 1 to 2 months campaign duration, because you are not only promoting during the Raya season, you are need to like pre-announce the promotions or the collections before the Raya. So during like 1 month or 2 weeks before the actual date, I can say.
Okay, what about Kalis? Your side? What is the ideal duration for a campaign?
All right. For my team to execute the product, the campaign will be the best idea for me is 1 month now. But of course, depends on your campaign, to be honest. If you are trying to grow your brand with the influencers, I would say long term. So it's where you create a story lah, with your alpha and such on. But if you have like, just say a promotion, like Karen say, like at the end of this month, you need to have promotion. So within 1 month, should be okay. Yeah.
So
Okay. Yeah, sorry, continue.
So it really depends on the objective lah. Like what are you looking at? So we can like give you an ideal durations for your campaign.
Okay, so Chong has a question. If I have a Raya promotion for my outlets across the country, should I spend the budget on a few micro or just one macro? So Chong's question is whether we want to do micro or macro for Raya. She has outlets across the country.
Okay. It depends on your objective.
Okay, so imagine this is for Raya, then I assume it's for sale. Okay, maybe we give a sample. Let's go Ribena. Okay? If just say I have Ribena as a product, and because usually Raya is when we eat and we be merry or we enjoy ourselves. So like Ribena is like a drink, very staple, something that we all know already. Okay, so how about like Ribena? How would you promote Ribena during Raya?
Okay, there's 2 ways I can look at it. Let's just say Ribena is launching a new product with new formula, for example. There's more of like, you should tell the audience like, hey, I got a new formula. This is what makes it different than the rest. So this is where education comes along. So I would suggest to do video. Like I mentioned earlier, video is a good way where you can actually educate the audience to spread the key message. So how I'm going to do this video, I'm going to put it as, this is my recipe using Ribena for Raya. So like you say, maybe I mix the Ribena with lychee or orange, slash on, or maybe do ice cream. But if your Ribena is doing like buy 2 free 10, no, buy 2 free 1 bottle. This is where CDs and micro can come along. I would suggest CDs because cheaper and we can actually use more. For a budget like just say 10K, I can give you roughly about 65 CDs. One IG static picture, one IG story reposting lah. So roughly lah. So for them, just to shout out that you have promotion and they're drinking Ribena, they hold a Ribena, like, hey, doing promotion now, this is like whatever. Yeah.
So perhaps for my side, maybe Ribena can also do some live stream, I can say, because it's for live stream, because now people like, we are locked down now, so everyone is stay at home, and then Raya is coming. So the only things we can't really like go out and buy groceries. So the only things we are most likely do now is like do online shoppings. So we can use the live stream to help you to promote about your products like Ribena. Not only like promoting like this is a new launch, but maybe we can make it like what Kali say. We demonstrate like how to do like how to mix like with lychee also, or maybe we make it like make the Ribena into a pudding. So we show them like this is the process, and also call to action people to actually buy it on the spot, because you have so many things to buy to prepare for Raya. So whenever people are keep reminding you and you keep seeing the brands on social media platforms, people are keep telling you, okay, you should buy now, you should buy now. Then your subconscious is like, okay, I should buy now. I can just like pack it and save it for later for my Raya. And also for live stream one, we are doing like cheaper price, so people can actually buy the cheaper price at the specific duration. So I would suggest people to also do a live stream to promote by your brands.
Okay, so I hope, Chung, we answered your question about the Raya promotion. At the end of the day, because we don't know your product specifically, so very hard to comment whether to do a few micro or just a macro. I mean, at the end of the day, if the product is something we are familiar with already, then it's we don't really need, I mean, not really don't really need, it's really depending on your objective, whether to go for the micro or the macro. Micro is if your promotion is like really like a good promotion, and then you can get the small ones to just blast the message. But if just say you want to build a bit of a ambassadorship, like, oh, you know, if so and so is drinking, I also want to drink this product, then you would use a macro. Again, this highly dependent on the product itself. We really don't know, and also where to buy this product. So we don't know much enough to say whether to go for the micro or the macro. I mean, we're doing this in a very broad perspective. So I think this wraps up. We don't have any more questions from the audience. Thank you so much for your very engaging session. I think we had fun answering your questions. I've already added the link to the packages. If you're interested, you can reach out to Kalis or Karen. So I'm going to type their emails here: kalis@sushivit.com, Karen@sushivit.com. If you guys are interested to reach out to us for any of these campaigns, let us know. Our crisis package is actually pretty attractive. What we've done is actually we've gone to these influencers, right, and say, hey, help out the SMEs, help out our Malaysian companies, and help out these businesses, because they also tutup kilang, cannot do anything. So can we, can you, we told the influencers, like, can you give us a better rate so that we can then give a better rate to the brands? It's not like, our price is because we last time mark up so much. It's purely because we actually went to the influencers and asked them if they're okay to give us a 20% discount, because let's help one another. So these influencers have actually agreed, and that's how we came up with this crisis package, based on the reduced price from the influencers. So I hope this answers your questions of anything you have. If you have any more questions, you can reach out to us anytime. And that's it. So thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Any last words from the two of you? Sorry.
No.
No, huh? Okay, bye.
Bye. Stay safe, everyone.